I seek refuge in God from Satan in the name of Allah, who is gracious, merciful. Quran topics by Tanvir Kazmi, chapter number 185. False accusation, accusing and blaming others. Al Nisa, Surah 4, verse number 112. Anyone who earns a sin, then accuses an innocent person thereof, has committed a blasphemy and a gross offense. If it were not for God's grace toward you and His mercy, some of them would have misled you. They only mislead themselves. They can never harm you in the least. Allah has sent down to you the book and the wisdom, and He has taught you what you never knew. Indeed, God's blessing upon you have been great. Al Nur, Surah 24, verse 1 to 21. A surah that we have sent down and we have decreed a law, we have revealed it, we have revealed in it clear revelations that you may take heed. The adulteress and the adulterer you shall whip each of them 100 lashes. Do not be swayed by piety from carrying out God's law, if you truly believe in Allah and the last day. And let a group of believers witness the penalty. The adulterer will end up marrying an adulteress or an idol worshipper. An adulteress will end up marrying an adulterer or an idol worshipper. This is prohibited for the believers. Those accuse those who accuse married women of adultery, then fail to produce 4 witnesses, you shall whip them 80 lashes, and do not accept any testimony from them. They are wicked. If they repent afterwards and reform, then Allah is forgiving, the most merciful. As for those who accuse their own spouses without any other witnesses, then the testimony may be accepted if he swears by God 4 times that he is telling the truth. The fifth oath shall be to incur God's condemnation upon him if he was lying. She shall be considered innocent if she swears by God 4 times that he is a liar. The fifth oath shall incur God's wrath upon her if he was telling the truth. This is God's grace and mercy toward you. Allah is Redeemer, most wise. A gang among you produced a big lie. Do not think that it was bad for you. Instead, it was good for you. Meanwhile, each one of them has earned their share of the guilt. As for the one who initiated the whole incident, they has incurred a terrible punishment. When you heard it, the believing men and the believing women should have better thoughts about themselves and should have said, "This is absolutely a big lie." Only if they produce 4 witnesses. If they fail to produce the witnesses, then they are, according to God, the liars. If it were not for God's grace toward you and His mercy in this world and the hereafter, you would have suffered a great punishment because of this incident. You fabricated it without, you fabricated it with your own tongues, and the rest of you repeated it with your mouths without proof. You thought it was simple when it was, according to God, gross. When you heard it, you should have said, "We will not repeat this. Glory be to you. This is a gross falsehood. Allah admonish you that you shall never do it again if you are believers." God thus explains the revelation for you. Allah is all knowing wise. Those who love to see immorality spread among the believers have incurred a painful punishment in this life and in the hereafter. God knows while you do not know. God shower you with His grace and mercy. Allah is the most kind towards the believers, most merciful. O you believe, do not follow the steps of the devil. Anyone who follows the step of Satan should know that he advocates evil and vice. If it were not for God's grace toward you and His mercy, none of you would have been purified. But God purifies whomever He wills. God is here, the knower. Sadaqallahu Azim.